What's up, bro?
Oh, it's good.
Back again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to be doing it again.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff. Good stuff. What are we going to talk about today?
Today, it's all about the Warrior. For those of you who don't know, this is Coach Bulger. 22 years special operations. Been in situations that are more intense than any athlete could actually be in. So he's bringing in his thoughts on things.
Yeah. Like Dom said, Dom does a great job here, at the facility, providing some of the top-notch, instruction on how to get bigger, faster, stronger the right way. Something I wasn't privileged to have in my 22 years as pre-special operations. We did things, everything was harder, not smarter. Towards the end of my career, it got smarter, not harder. But I'm benefiting right now from his training. Again, I'm 46 years old. I spent 22 years in Marine Special Operations. Mentally challenging, physically challenging job, very rewarding job. But I would have to say that if there's one thing that job provided me is a solid mindset and how to achieve, that same solid mindset in sports. What I mean by that is translating that military experience to the athlete experience.
Exactly. What is a warrior and what is the mindset that a warrior has to have to be successful?
The warrior mindset is that of a warrior. So you have to go the warrior path. Now, not everyone can be a warrior, not everyone is a warrior. But you can adopt the warrior way, right? 100%. And so if you want a warrior mindset, the warrior mindset, you need to train in the art of being a warrior, which means that you need to be smart in science and arts, martial arts, and understand the environment and understand a lot of things. So you gotta go to school, kids, right? Get your education. That's the first path. Yeah, warriors love to learn. Warriors love to learn and love to experience things. And then the next thing is you have to physically prepare your body for combat.
100%.
That's what warriors do. Yeah. Where warriors are born and bred to eventually one day defend. That's why they're warriors. They war. So for athletes, you have to come in here and work with Dom and get your body to the level to where you can protect and defend physically. And then mentally, you have to have your mindset, or not your mindset, but your mental game has to be elevated and has to be tough to withstand internal, external distractions. That's going to test your mental will while you're trying to do the right thing.
Being an athlete myself and you being an athlete yourself, we both know that it's not just physical prep. We see the biggest, strongest, fastest people that they get up onto the field or on the court or whatever it might be, and they fail because they lost it up here before they even started the game.
Right.
I know I was a big on that being younger, and I would compare myself, size people up versus going internal and figuring out these are the ways that I can win versus saying this guy is huge or this guy is fast or whatever.
You see someone big, fast, and strong, and you assume
to crush you.
that this person mentally is the same way they are physically.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, it's not true. Oftentimes, not true. I would tell you what is true, and I experienced this. I experienced this. In my unit, guys come in all shapes, size, and colors, right? So we'll have the athlete, the D1 athlete who wanted to become special ops. Boom, he's there. Then we have the guy who wasn't big enough to be a Division I athlete, but he's like an Edelman, right?
Yeah.
Small frame, but he can put on 120 pounds and he can march it up any hill faster than anybody. And then you have the guy who's just big boned, right? Big bone guy who's just, he's a tank.
Yeah.
And we had a guy in my team. His nickname was Tank because the guy was big, but he could move. He could do everything. So just when you look at people, you look at that physical stature. It doesn't necessarily mean that the mental stature matches that. 100%. Oftentimes it's opposite. Sometimes the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and they fall quick.
So how do you prepare mentally for war?
So to your question, how do you prepare your mental for combat? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's experience. If you have to be thrown in the fire, you can sit around a fire, let's say a fire pit, kumbaya, and talk about, what it means to be a warrior, what it means to have good mindset, what it means. That's a great conversation to have. But after that conversation, you have to validate everything you talked about with physical pressure. Physical pressure. So if you want to prepare your mind for combat, then your physical attributes need to be heightened. And your coach or your instructor, or in this case, in special ops, your cadre, they replicate as best as they can possible the combat situations that you're going to endure, and they put you in the fire, and they let you burn, see if you can put yourself out, right? And awesome. You burn, and you get scar tissue, and you learn, you walk away understanding pain, understanding sacrifice, understanding longevity of being in a adverse situation. You learn to love that adverse situation because you start to see the golden nuggets of information that's coming out of it that you would have never seen otherwise.
It's outside the comfort zone.
So you want to prepare the mind. Do hard stuff. That's pretty much the short of it. Do hard stuff. Do things that are going to challenge you.
Yeah.
That's gonna awaken your mind. That's gonna awaken your universe. It's gonna give you a different script of the world.
So I was reading this, and you get to listen to him in real life, but I was reading a article from Brett Bartholomew.
Right.
And he was talking about like athlete archetypes.
Yes.
So the first one described me pretty like well from when I was younger, but he's talking about there's like different types of athletes, and the first one talks about a cerebral athlete, learns quickly, likes to challenge himself, but he tends to stay within the confines of practice.
Right.
Really good at drills, wins most of those things, but you put him in the adverse situation, the new situation, the randomness of like actual game, he doesn't produce.
Right.
And it's talking about like how, exactly what you said, replicating those real life game time situations for those athletes in particular are vital.
Yes.
Because they have all the attributes, but push come to shove, something outside of their little box happens, and it all goes on too.
Absolutely. Prepping your athletes for game day situations means that's great. That's a great thing to do, and coaches do a great job doing that. But oftentimes they replicate game day situation, and what they get more success than failure. So the athletes are doing it until they get it right, and then they feel good about getting it right.
Yeah.
Because coaches want to see you get it right.
Yeah, you don't want to screw
And
up
when you do it right, coach's like, yeah, that's good. Hey, guys, that was a great practice. We did this, we did that, we accomplished this, we accomplished this. But you have to have the inverse. You have to have practice where you're purposely making it so where they will not succeed.